Do you guys know what this is? This is old Scorn. Old Scorn. Read these stats. I'll even hold control for you. Look at the min-max damage that's that laid out. 50% more damage. Strength is really high, considering that this was back when Monster Power 10 was around. Increased attack speed, crit hit damage is placed on weapons to almost 200%. You have the Scorn Bleed, which is famous, and then you have the socket. Even more scarier though, the best Scorns would have a thing called Lifesteal. Now, what's Lifesteal? Lifesteal is on this. What's this belt, you'd say? This is IK's old belt. And what's on it? Intelligence. But it had 2.8% damage dealt is converted to life. Now, why is that so amazing? Well, it's like almost 3% of the damage you deal is converted to life. Can you imagine gaining back 3% of 4 billion or 1 billion or 100 million like damage? That's a crap ton of life back if you can get that back nowadays. And this is an old stat. It's dead. They dropped it a long time ago because it was way too overpowered, and it's scary. This is old Scorn. It's not a great one, but it's one that's usable. If you had a Scorn, you were awesome. You were clearing MP10. What's MP10? Probably the one of the hardest things you can do. It's way better. It's way harder than T6, if anything. But it's crazy. Anyways, this is an old vanilla character. This is on Softcore. This is the only one I have on Softcore. I've never touched him. I let him go throughout the years. And crazy, right? He must have 500% crit hit damage because of Scorn. Let's go through the rounds. Let's see what I'm wearing. I have Vile Wards with 666, armor on it, and all like the max strength you can get is 200. All resist was going to go to 80, which is fine. That's still the same. This Vile Wards actually rolled life, so that made you tanky. It's actually a very tanky Vile Wards actually. The helmets would roll this. It was crazy. It would the IK sets would roll as a secondary damage redux from melee. Mostly, I think it was mostly melee. Yeah, it's mostly melee. That's crazy. Also, you can see the 2-3-5 set there, which is 60 all resist for 2. 3 set gave you damage reduction, and 5 set gave you 5 life per fear. It increases your fury generation by 2, and it gives you plus 5 maximum fury. This was okay because if you were gonna go whirlwind, you could put this on, go 5 set, and I guess you could possibly just like, I don't even know, you could go Unforgiving, I guess, and hope to God that it gives you enough fury to maintain your whirlwind. But this is back when whirlwind was completely broken because blood funnel was huge. You couldn't die back in the day, and you were always also in Wrath of Berserker all the entire time because Thrive on Chaos was completely different. It's like whenever you crit as a berserker in your avatar form, it would prolong your chance to give you an extra second to your avatar, and that was amazing because if you had enough crit chance, which I think I have a good fair amount, yeah, I have almost half crit chance. I was critting a lot in Whirlwind, so it's pretty easy to keep avatar up at the time. Besides that, no. Another thing I should probably let you guys know is that yellows back in vanilla, you had to roll them. You had to ID yellows, and there also had a big thing of RNG where a yellow would drop, and you would have to try and hope to God that it was either eye level 63 or 62 and rolled good. If it rolled trash, you're back to the drawing board farming your Nephilim Glory stacks, which nowadays you kind of see it. It's a little like bar above here that you get. It's like yellow globes you get, and they do like weird like Nephilim shock. Back then, every time you kill a champion pack in vanilla Diablo, it would give you a Nephilim Glory stack up to 10. And what it would do is at 10 stacks, you would get for sure yellow drops, and that was amazing because for sure yellow drops were great to have. Anyway, so this is an amulet, gives you vitality, attack speed, crit chance, or crit damage rate, and crit chance, and regen. This was a great amulet at one point. We didn't have Mystic back at the time, so I couldn't roll anything. This was what we had. This is the kind of game where what you had is what you got. This is it. Bracers, vitality, all resist, armor, crit chance. I mean, Officer Slayer. Minimum damage increased by 9 to 6 strength, 44 dexterity, crit damage, crit chance. Oh, this was the unintentional dream at one point. I mean, it's just horrible. Strength, vitality, crit damage, crit chance. I mean, all I'm missing is a socket, and it would have been stupid, but still really strong. These pants are okay. These were hard to replace until 63. You had your firewalkers, of course, and they still would give the burn the ground thing. Scorn, as I already went on a huge tangent on, amazing as hell. And another thing I should look at. Oh yeah, there's the chest for IK, which gave you a lot of tankiness. Old IK's Boulder Breaker. Look at this. As you notice, they give you fury reduction on Hammer of Ancients by 2 fury. It would ignore durability loss, but more or less though, it was an okay weapon. This is actually not a bad weapon that Bards only had. Mind you, it will never ever be better than Scorn, because Scorn had that crit damage on it innately, but still ridiculous. This weapon here would have sold for about $5, I think, or $2 on the room on the auction house, but it was also really good. It was actually a really solid weapon that you can get. Also, Griswold's Worn Edge. This thing would drop from Griswold's anvil in the first act. And I thought it was great. Old stuff. I love it. Oh yeah, all this gear. So Azir Wrath would have attack speed on it. It would roll every stat in the game, and it would have 10% chance to freeze. Bojangles rolled attack speed as well. Inez roll attack speed. Mempo was still Mempo. Lilith's Wall rolled attack speed. Sunni Prowlers would also roll attack speed. And in this game, back then, these you would notice here, like where was it? Was it here? Yeah, like IK here. I rolled dexterity on these gloves. Like back then, anyone could roll this crap. Anyone could wear it, and it was just scary. And you had stuff that you had like random dex stats. You had random like intelligence stats. It was really silly at the time, but it was really cool. But yeah, you rolled yellows, and if you ever got a legendary, it was a huge deal. And if you had that, you could sell it for gold on the Money auction house, and you can use that gold to buy more gear. And that's basically how that game worked. I can actually show you one more thing. Excuse the little textures, because I usually play. I still have one thing of the past. Let's go to my Demon Hunter here real quick. There's a weapon for Demon Hunters that you guys may get. You would see it as trash, garbage, but such a good weapon back in the day. And hopefully I still have it on my hardcore character. And this is my off season, by the way, so this is like a character that be really old. It's somewhere here. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, Manticore. Manticore rolled Scorn's crit damage, but it gave you 2 sockets. 2 sockets for this thing. That is an obscene amount of damage. Like, it was so inconceivable how much damage Manticore did for you. If you got one of these, 1k, fine, whatever. But you had an extra almost 300k. Like 300k. So 300 crit hit damage. That was dumb. Like, hold on, let me put this on for you so you can see how much crit I would have had. Look, almost 600% crit hit damage. That is how much damage Damage did back in the day. Didn't even matter. I mean, I wouldn't do a lot of damage right now, but still, obscene. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. You know, my little bit of maybe you guys can have a little bit of appreciation or just a little bit of knowledge on how what old Vanilla WoW. I was very full of vanilla. I keep saying that Vanilla WoW, old Diablo 3 looked like, and it was kind of crazy. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Have a good day.